We're going to begin with the calendar for today. Please be sure that if you are a defendant accused of one or more misdemeanor offenses, that you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say in open court, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. And I just want to give you a little bit of background. This particular calendar is for individuals who have been recently arrested and their cases have already been formally accused by the Solicitor General's Office of Fulton County. So today I will be letting you know what your formal charges are and what's your next court date if applicable, as well as what kind of bond you may receive. So courtroom 2, who do we begin with?
Your Honor, before we get started, let me let everybody know that the SAP reset date is December the 5th.
Okay, December the 5th. And that's going to be December the 5th at 9 a.m. and it's going to be handled via Zoom. So anyone planning to attend that calendar, please make sure you get a Zoom link. First case, please, courtroom 2, or the individual hearing on Zoom. She's got a quick code name, Sexy Mama 7. Please remove yourself from Zoom and change the email or change your name on the screen. That's not an appropriate name on screen. Please leave Zoom and change the name on your screen. Or the host can change the name to, I don't know, appearance. All right. Courtroom 2, who do we have in the beginning?
Position number 13.
All right.
Okay, let me get that. Position number 13 is Bobby Sandamani. I may be pronouncing it wrong. Case number 23CR007222E, charged with simple assault.
All right.
And I'm Colette. Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is Colette Resnick Steele. I'm representing Mr. Sandamani, and I've already filed my entry.
Okay. Trial officer to give me the GCIC.
This is second arrest, 2019, driving without a valid license. This was level 2.
All right. And what's the prosecutor's opinion on
In
bond?
that case, Your Honor, good afternoon. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched at 3464 Roxborough Drive due to the security guard at that building reaching out to 911. As alleged, the security guard heard yelling and screaming coming from that particular unit. The door was open. When he peered into the apartment, he saw the defendant putting the victim into a headlock, prompting him to call 911. The responding officer put in his report that he is familiar with the defendant because he was here last month in the month of October due to another domestic violence incident. The state is asking for a signature bond through pretrial services. No contact with the victim. Her name is Imani Child, to stay away from the incident location. A 2-day anger awareness program. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
All right. Does the defense counsel have any objection to the signature bond and the conditions?
I have no objection to the signature bond, Your Honor. However, I've been in touch with Ms. Childs. She is not on the lease. She is moving out of state. She indicates that she does want to have no physical contact at all with Mr. Sandamani. I have an email from her which confirms everything that I'm stating, which I'm happy to present to the court. This is, as I stated, the Roxborough property is not her residence. She is not on the lease, and she indicates she has no problem with Mr. Sandamani taking.
I understand your position. It's going to be the ruling of the court. It's going to be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial services. No contact with the victim. Stay away from the residence while the victim is still occupying the premises. There will be one-time visit where the defendant may go to the property with a police officer. And if an officer verifies that the victim has vacated the premises, then the defendant may return to the property. No alcohol, no drugs, no weapons, and to attend a 1-day anger awareness program with pretrial services. Thank you.
Your Honor, if I may, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that the state did amend the charge from simple assault to simple battery family violence. That does not change our recommendation, but I do want to put the court and counsel on notice that this is a simple battery family violence, and that accusation has been filed with the clerk's office.
Noted. So 2,000 bond to pretrial. Counsel, did you have any other cases with us?
I don't, Your Honor. Would it be possible for me to get a copy of that bond order? I know sometimes it's very difficult
You would need to contact Holly.
electronically as an unindicted case.
Okay. Contact Holly Bridgewater. You can put it in the chat to talk to Miss Bridgewater as to her email.
I will do so. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're free to
Holly,
go.
if
Yes.
the judge, if the judge don't give it a level, it's automatically level 1.
Understood.
you-
Most be level 1. So
Yeah.
unless otherwise, it's all level 1. Next
Okay.
case.
I'll just let you know.
Thank you. Okay, Judge, who do we have next? Or the jail?
Position number 7, Mr. Cleveland.
Position number. Okay.
Okay, position number 7, Corey Cleveland, case number 23CR007218A, charged with battery.
All right, this is 5th arrest. Last was 2020 simple assault, dismissed. Got to open criminal damage to property, 2nd degree obstruction.
All right.
29
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
2019 trespass, obstruction, first offender, and a 2012 simple battery DV dismissed. This was level 3.
Okay. Thank you. Who's the defense counsel?
I am, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Miss Abdian.
Okay, Ms. Adia. All right. Thank you. And what's the prosecutor's recommendation?
Your Honor, this recommendation is a signature bond through pre-trial. The defendant was the defendant looks like he threw the drink and his food at the Uber Eats driver. He got angry because he didn't give him his drink when he first walked up to him. So we're looking for a signature bond through pre-trial, no further contact with the victim, a Carter Murray, a stay away from the victim's home address, 1040 Huff Road Northwest, 1 day anger awareness, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond.
Understood. As the defense counsel have any objection to the terms of the bond?
No objection, Your Honor. He is denying the allegations as stated in the warrant for the record.
Understood. The bond will be as recommended by the state. It was, I believe, a $2,000 signature bond. Stay away from the victim, stay away from the location, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. Attend and complete a 1-day anger awareness program. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, who do we have next?
I'm sorry, back to position number 7. That says signature bond through pretrial or?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
2,000.
2000, yep. Thank you. Next we have position number 10.
Position number 10 is Willie Grace, case number 23CR007223Y, charged with criminal trespass and damage to property.
68 total. He got an open case out of the cab for battery, interference with government property. Also
Okay.
theft by taking.
That's good. Thank you.
I figured
That was quick. They actually went first.
And all right, I have this
Okay.
person, R. Blow. Please remove her from the Zoom. Please remove her from the Zoom. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Judge, who is that you want removed?
Person by the name of R. Blow, B-L-O-W.
Okay,
The prosecution, what's your recommendation?
Your Honor, this incident brief fact stems from the 16th of August. The victim is Brittany Mannings. The defendant walked up to her car at McDonald's and asked her for money. When she said no, he became angry and smashed her passenger side window while her daughter was in the car. As the officers noted, that the defendant has over 67 cycles of similar incidents, which appear to be directed at females. The state is looking for a $2,000 surety bond, a stay away from the McDonald's located at 443 Moreland Ave Southeast, no further contact with the victim, Brittany Mannings, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond.
All right, thank you. Ms. Abdon, what's your recommendation?
Your Honor, we're requesting a signature bond through the jail, and if Your Honor is not inclined, pre-trial at the level that was recommended. I understand he does have a substantial criminal history. My client is 51 years old. He's lived in Georgia his whole life. It's very strong ties to the community. He's currently residentially insecure, and he's unemployed. I already connected him with a social worker for housing, employment, and possible MH assistance. he has no objection to a stay away from the McDonald's, no further contact with Brittany Manning. But I am requesting a signature bond, Your Honor, because he cannot make bond today, so he will unfortunately remain in jail if a bond is set.
Understood. Bond is set at $1,500 on each count. It's a surety bond. It's a $3,000 surety bond. No further
Your Honor,
contact.
I'm sorry, I just show one charge.
Oh, I thought it was criminal trespass and damage. So it's one charge. So
It's
Yeah,
just one
one.
charge.
it'll be $1,500. It's a surety bond. No further contact with the victims. To stay away from the McDonald's on Moreland Avenue. And his next court date will be December 5th. Thank you.
Thank
Who
you,
do
Your
we have
Honor. And
next?
sorry, and Mr. Grace, I will have a social worker come see you before your next court date.
Next, we have, position number 4.
4, okay. Ms.
Position number 4 is Antoinette Bird, case number 23CR007214J, charged with battery, family violence.
First arrest, level 1.
All right. Ms. Dunlap, what's the recommendation?
Brief facts of the case, Your Honor. This incident happened yesterday. The victim is David McKinney. Officers responded to a call of a battery. They say the defendant got angry with Mr. McKinney when they got into an argument about him not wanting to watch TV with her. She ended up punching him in the head and face and biting him in the arm. The state is looking for a signature bond through the jail. No further contact with the victim, David McKinney. A stay away from 316 Tarragon Way. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. And we can sound for the victim when appropriate.
And who's defense counsel? Ms. Abda?
Yes, Your Honor. If we can, I guess, sound for the complaining witness and I can proceed.
Y'all have to sound it out. I am.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
David McKinney.
Annie, are you present? All right, Ms. Abdon, what's your recommendation, please?
Oh, sorry, Your Honor. Hold on. I'm asking Your Honor to accept the state's recommendation of a signature bond through the jail. My client denies the allegations as stated in the warrant. She would not object to a stay away or no further contact. And I had a social worker go see her so she can find alternative housing if necessary, because the incident location is her home.
Does she still share premises with the victim?
I'm sorry?
Does she share the home with the victim?
It is the complaining witness's house.
Okay.
So if no further contact is necessary, she can find somewhere else to stay.
Understood. All right. So it will be a $2,500 signature bond through pretrial. She'll report to pretrial every month. No contact with the victim. She may return one time only with a police officer to remove her belongings. But after that, she'll need to stay 200 yards away and update the court with her new address within 30 days of being released from jail. Her next court date will be sent to a new address. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, who do we have next? Who do we have next?
ACDC, Your Honor.
All right, Deputy, let's, ACDC, who do we have at, who's the young lady up there?
Oh gosh, I forgot her name. Miss
Do you know what position she is?
She's Miss Petty.
Miss Kenny?
I'm sorry, Miss Thomas. Go ahead and sit up, come up front.
Miss Thomas? I don't
Miss
show
Smith,
Miss Thomas.
Latasha Smith.
Okay. Your Honor, she has 2 charges. Their positions 15 and 16. The first charge, the first case number is 23CR007212D. Charge is simple battery. The second charge is case number 23CR007213D, and that charge is battery.
Okay, thank you. Pretrial?
12th arrest, last arrest was in July. probation and failure to appear.
Okay,
2020 DUI.
that's
Open
good.
in state court. All
That
right.
was, thank you. And Miss Dunlop,
It's my case, I believe,
oh,
Your Honor.
Walker, apologize. Yes, sir.
Yes, no, I'm sorry. In this case, one second. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 426 Atwood, where they spoke to the victim, whose name is Miss Mary Carter. She and the defendant were engaged in a verbal altercation when the defendant became violent and struck the victim in the face. The state is asking for $1,000 surety, no contact with Miss Mary Carter, and a stay away from that incident and location. Would
All
you
right.
like?
And yet, what's the recommendation for the second case?
The second case is also $1,000 surety bond. It's a different victim. Her name is Samaya Hayes, and they're also asking for a stay away from that incident location, 1315 Northwest Drive, Northwest Atlanta. And of course, we would sound for both victims, Mary Carter and Samaya Hayes.
Either victim present? This will be your time to unmute, and if you want to have a say. All right, Ms. Kim, do you represent the defendant in both cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and what's your recommendation for both cases?
Yes, we would like to request for a signature on bond. My client denies the allegation. All he did was picking up her brother, Daryl Smith, who was having, I guess, something going on over there in the business. He was just asking my client to pick him up. My client, Miss Smith, is 38 years old, and she has 2 children, and one of them is still minor, 17 years old. She is gainfully employed at Sensational Cleaning Services, and she graduated from high school, Your Honor. We would like to request for signature on bond, and she believes that this is completely false, and as soon as she gets out of the jail, she wants to file reports for making a false reports. Thank you.
Thank you. And do you have a comment for the second case? Is there a second one as well?
Same thing, Your Honor. She doesn't even know these defendants at all.
Yes, that's rather unfortunate. It's going to be $1,000 surety bond on each count and no further contact with the victims in both cases. Stay away from the incident locations. No alcohol, drugs, and weapons. And her next court date is going to be December 5th at 9 a.m. The other open case was in DeKalb, wasn't it?
Yes, I believe so too, Your Honor. One question though, the second case that is 426 Atwood Street, and my client resides at 432 Atwood Street, so she needs to return home.
I will allow her to go home, but if she sees the victim outside, she needs to turn around and walk right in.
Yes, thank you.
And if she's in a public place, she needs to make sure she stays 200 yards away.
Yes.
So with regards to the second case, I will lift the stay away.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. ACDC, do we have any more cases there?
No, Your Honor, she was the only one.
All right. Thank you, Deputy Milton. You have a great Thanksgiving. Thank you. All right. Next case at courtroom 2. Who do we have?
Position number 2.
Position number 2 is Drexel Blossom Gamma. I may be pronouncing it wrong. If so, I apologize. Case number 23CR007208J, charged with loitering and prowling and willful obstruction of law enforcement officer.
First arrest, level 1.
And Your Honor, this is a co-defendant case, I believe, with Scott. I just wanted to let you know. It's position number 14.
All right, let me do this one first, and then we'll go to position.
No problem.
Available. And that's Miss, I'm sorry, is it Miss Ebden? Or I'm sorry, Miss Dunlop or Mr. Walker?
It was me, Your Honor. Brief facts of the case. This incident happened yesterday. Officers responded to a call regarding 3 males looking inside vehicles. They found the defendant wearing all black in a ski mask, looking inside cars. When they spoke to him, he fled the scene through a screwdriver. He ran into an alley where they detained him. Officers noted that the defendant and co-defendant were at the location where several vehicles have been broken into via smashed windows or stolen cars. The state is looking for a signature bond through pretrial, a stay away from 102 Peachtree Circle Northeast, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond.
And those were 2 charges, right?
Yes, loitering and
Okay.
prowling and willful obstruction.
Okay, any objection, Ms. Abdon?
No objection to the signature bond through pretrial, the stay away, the conditions that she had mentioned. He is 19 years old, Your Honor. And so that's why I had his mom on the line, in case he required a cosigner.
What's the mom's name?
Great question.
Who is the mother of this defendant?
Wanda Bryant. I apologize, Your Honor.
Miss Wanda Bryant, okay. This young man, each count, his bond is going to be $1,500. That's going to be a signature bond to pretrial. He'll report to pretrial once a month. He needs to stay away from that Peachtree Circle location. If he gets arrested again, or if he doesn't show up to court, his $3,000 signature bond will be revoked and converted to a good bond or a cash bond. He cannot be arrested and needs to make sure that he shows up to court when summoned and stay away from that location. No illegal drugs, no weapons, and no alcohol. Thank you. Next case.
She need a cosign?
No cosigner required.
Thank you,
You
Your
want to do
Honor.
curfew?
No curfew.
Okay.
Okay, who's next?
Just 1 second. I
One
just
moment.
noticed a gentleman in a green jacket. If you are driving, you need to leave the Zoom. I think he's driving. Remove him from Zoom, please. Thank you. All right, next case.
Next, we have position number 11.
All right.
Position number 11 is Jerome Gray, case number 23CR007221G, charged with simple battery family violence.
Mr.
Your
Chisholm?
Honor, this is the case that I requested for MH breakout rooms. There were 2 that I requested for breakout.
All right. Which were the position numbers? Position 11 and what else?
12, Your Honor.
Okay. Let's go to the conflict case that Miss Abdon mentioned. Was it position 14?
It was position 14. That person is Malachi Scott, case number 23CR007210J, charged with loitering and prowling and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers.
All right. And is Mr. Scott in courtroom 2? Is he the one seated in courtroom 2?
Yes, he's here.
All right. Thank you. What was it again? Holly, I'm sorry, it broke up a little. It was loitering and prowling and what?
Willful obstruction of law enforcement officer.
Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Mr. Tucson, any priors?
First arrest, he's 17, so he gonna need a cosign.
Okay. And is the parent available on Zoom for this young man?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I believe his aunt should be on.
Okay. Mr.
Her
Walker, what's
name is Tamika Scott.
all right. Mr. Walker, what's your recommendation for
It's the same recommendation as his co-defendant with the exception of a curfew of 7 p.m. since he is 17. It's the same stay away location. Him and his co-defendant were appearing in cars, and when approached by police, they did give flight.
all right. Ms. McLeod, any objection to that?
No, Your Honor.
All right.
My understanding is that his aunt, Miss Scott, should be on if the court would sound for her.
Well,
What's
right
her
now,
name again?
Scott.
Tamika Scott.
Tamika Scott. Tamika
Yes.
Scott, if you're
Okay.
on the Zoom, please turn on your
Hello?
camera. Okay.
Hello?
All
Okay.
No,
right,
this
we can
is
hear her
this
now.
is Sister Sheba Rika. This is Sister Sheba Rika Love. Tamika, she had to go to work. Tamika Scott, that's my cousin. She had to go to work. This is sister.
Okay, are you over 21?
Yes, I am.
Do you live with him?
No, he sometimes he come to my home and sometimes
Okay.
he's at Tamika home. He's back and
All right.
forth.
All right.
I'm the oldest sister.
Thank you. All right, so the bond on this young man, Mr. Scott, is going to be $1,500 on each count, so $3,000 signature bond. He will need the co-signer of Tamika Scott. Tamika Scott, she would need to come down to pretrial with a valid identification card, co-sign his bond. He is subject to a curfew. He has to be home by 7 p.m. and he cannot leave till 7 a.m. He has to also stay away from that location at Peachtree Circle. Again, if he gets arrested again, if he does not report to pretrial or he does not report to court when summoned, his $3,000 signature bond will be converted to a cash bond or a surety bond. Thank you.
Could I ask a question?
No. Next question.
Is it possible?
No, I said no.
Oh, I was trying to see, could I come get
No.
it because she has to work? Okay.
And
Next
Your
case,
Honor,
please.
sorry to interrupt, but there's an extra defendant that needs to be brought. His name is Ronchell Melicon. I did put it in the chat. He is not on the calendar, but he will need to be brought as he does not have a bond. He was a bond over case.
All right, we'll address that shortly. Let's address the cases that are on my calendar right now, please.
Okay.
Okay. And I do apologize for the background noise, but who do we have now?
Position number 11.
All right, that's a breakout, isn't it?
Yes.
Deputy,
11 and 12 are breakouts.
position 11 and 12 are going to be kept to the end. Is there anyone else I can address?
Can we have position number 8 and 9?
8 and 9. Any objection from the prosecutors?
Okay, position number 8 is Josbel Cruz. Case number 23CR007224A, harassing communications. And position 9, Josbel Cruz, 23CR007225A, theft by taking and violating family violence protective order.
All right, thank you.
Second arrest, he was arrested this year for sale of marijuana out of the Douglas County, level 2.
Thank you. And Ms. Dunlap, yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident stems from the 17th of November. Regarding the theft by taking, the defendant went to the victim's home, Ms. Tiana Woods, and took her Ring doorbell camera. She stated the defendant's her ex-boyfriend. It belongs to her. He's never lived at her residence. Regarding the harassing communications and violating the family violence order, a resident saw what looked like the defendant slashing the victim's tires. After police got involved, the victim stated that she said it was her ex-boyfriend and that he had been calling her several times from his number and block numbers after he was served a TPO at his job, as well as officers were able to get the phone records and verify the calls. The state is looking for a signature bond through pretrial on both charges, a stay away from the victim's home address, 224 Calabrie Springs Way, Northeast, no further contact with the victim, Tiana Woods, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond, and we can sign for the victim when appropriate.
Miss Woods, I can see you on Zoom. If you'd like to unmute, would you like to enlighten me on how do you feel about contacting him?
I honestly think that there should honestly be like no contact ever for as long as possible, because there has been just so much psychological and mental abuse on top of the physical elements. I also have a career in acting and whatnot, and there's been a lot of threats to make up lies and whatnot and just destroy the kind of heart that I've put in. It's just there's been a lot of harassment between the original filing all the way up until like yesterday. I received a phone call from a jail. So
what's the call from him? What's the call from him?
From Fulton County.
All right, thank you, Miss. Thank you, Miss. Miss Kim, anything else to add?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is actually denying the allegations, Your Honor. Even the warrant says there was one call on one time, and then like few days later, another call. Probably only 3 or 4 calls that any human being can make, and he did not have any service.
Hang on, just one second. Just one second. Ms. Woods, please mute. Thank you. Sorry about that, Ms. Kim.
No problem, Your Honor. Besides that, he did not have service of the TPO until last Friday, which was few days ago. And then Monday, he was arrested at his work. He is gainfully employed at Emory as an engineer. He's been working there for the last 2 years. He has a bachelor's degree and he has been here in Georgia for a long time. His family's here. He has a new girlfriend and they don't live together. They don't have any child together. And Your Honor, we did not have any objection to no further contact, stay away. And we would like to request for signature on bond through jail if possible. And we had no time to actually review the video footage that the warrant is talking about. It is completely, my client did not even have any chance to be asked by the police officer. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. On the harassing communication, that's going to be a $2,500 surety bond. The theft by taking is a $1,500 surety bond. And the violation of a family TPO, that's going to be a $1,500 surety bond. The no further contact with Tiana Woods. He has to stay 200 yards away from her. He cannot communicate with her in any way, form, or manner, whether it's through a cell phone, a third party, a computer device, or on social media. He is to stay 200 yards away from wherever she's located, whether it's at her home, at her place of work, or whether she's on the sidewalk. Sir, if you violate any of these conditions, please keep in mind that the next charge that you could possibly be looking at is a felony count of aggravated stalking, which means that you stay in jail for up to 3 months without any bond. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you choose to say, your statements can and will be used against you. We have prosecutors on Zoom who will take what you say and construe that against you. Ms. Kim, would you like to reiterate his this advice?
Your Honor, I just want to ask you a question about, is it surety bond, did you say?
Yes, they're all surety bonds.
Not the signature on bond?
No. Yes.
That's it, Your
Anything
Honor.
else, Jen? All right. Courtroom 2, please unmute.
Your Honor, I have a question.
What's the question?
Please ask me, unless it is directly related to bond condition, please do not.
My place of employment, I will stay away from everything, but just wanted to let you guys know, she lives, I think.
Please do not say anything about the facts of the case, anything that is related to the facts of the case. You have a right to remain silent. Call me.
Yes. Ms. Kim, does Ms. Woods work at Emory?
Miss Woods, I don't know. I do not know about that, Your Honor.
I work at Emory. She lives around the corner from my job.
Ms. Woods, do you live close by to where he works?
Yes.
How far away?
7 to 10 minutes.
Okay, that's more than 200. That's more than 200. Okay. You have to maintain. You switch off your volume, Ms. Woods. The defendant will have to maintain a 200-yard buffer. And if he sees her on the sidewalk, he needs to turn around and walk away. All right. The defendant needs to understand that if he violates the no contact in my bond order, he could be looking at a felony charge. So please be very mindful of the stay away. Next case, please.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Each charge was $2,500.
$2,500 on the harassing communications and $1,500 each on the theft by taking and the violation of the family order.
Okay.
But for the record, Tiana Woods was not sworn in.
I can swear her in if she is still on Zoom. Ms. Woods, please raise your right hand and unmute. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you provided to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. You may mute now. Next case, please.
Position number 6.
Position number 6 is Easton Clark, case number 23CR007216D, charged with simple battery, family violence, hindering persons making emergency telephone call, a second charge of hindering persons making an emergency telephone call, and battery family violence.
So was there a total of 4 charges? Or
There
3?
are a total of 4 charges.
So simple battery.
Simple battery family violence is charge number 1. Charges number 2 and 3 are hindering persons making emergency telephone call. And the 4th charge is battery family violence.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay.
So Tucson?
This is number 6, right?
This is position number 6, yes.
All right. 10 total. He was arrested this year for simple battery family violence. Trespass, simple battery against a person who is 65 years older or who is pregnant at the time of offense. He's on probation for that.
All right. Thank you.
You want a case number? Or you good?
I'm good. Ms. Dunlop, what's your recommendation?
Brief facts for the case, Your Honor. This happened on the 10th of November regarding a dispute. The victims are his aunt, Joy King, his grandmother, Gloria Clark, and his mother, Cynthia Clark. He stated to his aunt that he was going to snap her neck and murder her. He grabbed her arm when she tried to call 911. He grabbed his grandmother's arm when she tried to call 911. He told her he would shoot her in the face. He told his mother he would snap her neck, and he pushed her in a chair, pushed her face in a wall, leaving bruising on her cheek. When she attempted to call 911, he put his hands around her neck and grabbed the phone. He has a previous case of paying victim. He was supposed to stay away from his home address. That is the 10065 Old Woodland entry in Johns Creek. And he was supposed to have no further contact with the grandmother, Gloria Clark and Cynthia Clark. Regarding this has 4 charges, $8,000 surety bond, $2,000 on each charge, a stay away from 10065 Old Woodland entry, no further contact with the aunt. Yes.
Okay. And no contact with whom?
The aunt Joy King, the mom Cynthia Clark, the grandmother Gloria Clark, 8 weeks anger management, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while on bond.
Okay, and that was Gloria Clark and Cynthia Clark?
And Joy King.
And Joy King. Okay, got it. Miss Abdon?
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe that his mother, Cynthia Clark, is on Zoom and wanted to be heard. I think she's under Abby with the heart. I'm not, if we could just sound for her before I proceed.
Abby Clark or Gloria Clark or Cynthia Clark, if you want to say something, this will be a time to unmute. All right, Miss Abdon, what's your, oh, sorry. Yes, Miss, what's your name, please?
Cynthia Clark.
And Miss Clark, did you want to say something?
Yes, no, she's not involved in this.
All right, so we'll then move on to the defense counsel. You may mute.
Can I talk? Can I talk?
Yes. What's your name?
Cynthia Clark. Mother. I'm the mother of Easton Clark.
Okay, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, I do.
What would you like to tell me?
He did put his hand around my neck, but I wasn't going to call 911. My aunt called 911, and all I did was pinch my cheek, and it was red. That's all that happened.
Okay, thank you very much. Please mute your screen.
Okay.
Miss Abdon?
Thank you, Your Honor. After speaking with his mother, it does sound like this was a misunderstanding. She stated that they're okay with him coming back to the home if Your Honor is inclined. So I am requesting no further violent contact. It's my understanding that there are some MH concerns. He was at Riverwood recently. I did connect him with a social worker for that. He is 31 years old. He's lived in Georgia his whole life, has strong ties to the community. He's gainfully employed, but he's been out of work for the past 3 months dealing with MH. And so he does not have any money right now to pay bond. So setting a bond for him would be like no bond at all. He is denying the allegations as stated in the warrant. As I've stated, this was a misunderstanding. Given that the recommendation was pre-trial level 2, that is what I'm requesting, Your Honor.
All right. On the simple battery, family violence is $1,000 surety. On each count of hindering a person from making an emergency phone call, it's going to be $500 each. And on the battery family violence is going to be a $3,000 surety. That's a $3,4,5,000 surety bond. No further contact with Joy King, with Cynthia Clark, and with Gloria Clark. He is to stay away from the old Woodland Drive location in Johns Creek. Bond may be no illegal drugs, no alcohol, no firearms, and he must be compliant with any medication to which he's described if he's on ongoing treatment. Bond may be reconsidered at SAP calendar once he is determined that he has the appropriate facility to enter in order to continue treatment. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor. Just quickly, we did try to upgrade this for threatening communications because he did tell the aunt he was going to murder her. So I just wanted to ask for the 8 weeks anger management again.
Since it's a surety bond, I only authorize these kind of accountability programs if they are on a pretrial bond.
No problem.
Next case, please.
Position number 1.
Position number 1 is Jeremy Benjamin, case number 23 CR 007215F, charged with theft by shoplifting and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers.
All right, Mr. Howard.
You got a couple of probations from 2019. 2019 suspended license. 2016 ag battery conviction. This was level 2.
All right. Miss Abden. Excuse me, not Miss Abden. Miss Dunlop. Is Miss Dunlop there?
You said last name is Benjamin?
Position number 1.
Yeah, Jeremy.
Who's the prosecutor, please?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was looking at the add-on case. Please forgive me. Who
No
are we?
problem.
There was an add-on counter that just came out, by the way. Where are we at?
Position number 1.
Number 1. Position
Regular
1.
calendar.
Benjamin is the last name.
Second. Let me get my notes put up.
It's an unusual day today, guys, so I do apologize, but Mr. Walker, we ready?
Once. I promise. Okay, yes. This is a shoplifting case. Law enforcement was dispatched to the dealers at 7000 North Point Circle in Alpharetta. They spoke to the store security who advised that the defendant was detained for shoplifting. I think it was a pair of Armani pants. The state is asking for a signature bond through pretrial services, a stay away from that incident location, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
Any objection, Miss Abden?
The recommendation was signature bond through pretrial. Is that what I heard?
Mm-hmm.
No objection, Your Honor. My client is denying the allegations as stated in the warrant for the record.
Understood. On the shoplifting and the obstruction is going to be $1,500 each. Is going to be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial. To stay away from all Dillard stores, not just the one at the North Point area. So all Dillard stores. And he is to not consume any illegal drugs and not possess any weapons or firearms. Thank you. Next case, please.
Position number 19.
Thank you, Dudley.
Position number 19 is Christopher Patrick Ware, case number 23 CR 007217F, charged with hindering persons making 911 call and also battery family violence.
This is 9th arrest. He was arrested on the 17th of this month, failed to appear. Got an open case in Clayton County, ag battery. 2023, battery hindering. A couple of arrests out of Alabama from 2022. It says family offense, domestic violence. 2022, harassing communication. 2021, family offense, domestic violence. And a 2021 failure to appear. think this was
Okay.
level 3.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 3860 Flat Shoals Road, where they spoke to the victim, Ms. Connie Wright. She advised that her and her live-in boyfriend were engaged in a verbal altercation, at which time he took a plate of food and threw it at her and hit her with the plate of food. It's my understanding that she ran out of the room and called 911. He followed after her and took her phone. The state is asking for a $1,000 surety bond on each count. Stay away from that incident location. I believe they were living at a Motel 6. No contact with the victim. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
Thank you, sir. And Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Ware is 39 years old, Your Honor. He has been in jail for a long time. I believe that he was arrested for this particular one on November 17th, but there was actually speeding ticket or some kind of a traffic ticket. But I don't think that should be the one that caused him to be held in jail. So this might be a Riverside issue. I try to get something in paper. However, I didn't have enough time to get any responses from Clayton County or Union City that he was actually arrested and detained. Your
Okay.
Honor, he said he was actually at Union City Jail or East Cobb County for East.
Can you get the verification by tomorrow's C calendar?
Sure.
Okay. Right now I'm going to go with the state's recommendation
Okay.
of $1,000 surety bond on each count to
Okay.
stay away from Connie Wright and stay away from Motel 6. If you have information that he is Riverside,
Sure.
please see that information to Miss Holly Bridgewater
Sure.
and to Mr. Ian Walker, and I'll take a
Okay.
look at it.
Well,
Okay.
Your Honor, if I may, I'm looking at the gelling screen. It looks like he was arrested on the 17th,
Mm-hmm.
and then he was booked on the 20th.
Like I said, I'm
Okay.
going with the state's recommendation unless I see something otherwise tomorrow.
Okay.
All
What
right.
is that amount?
It's $1,000 surety bond on each count. Stay away from the Motel 6. No contact with Connie Wright, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. Next court date is December 5th.
Your Honor, I thought if I get some kind of documentation, it will be changed to signature by tomorrow.
I will review it and amend the bond accordingly.
Thank you.
But in the meantime, we're set for December the 5th.
Correct.
Got it.
Okay, okay, great. Who do we
Next
have
case,
next?
please.
Next we have the position number 11 and position number 18. You guys said you had like
Okay, position 11 and 12, which is this gentleman, is a breakout, and position 18, where's position 18?
position 18 is right here.
Okay, position number 18 is Roderick Walker, case number 23 CR 007220A, charged with battery family violence.
All right, is that Mr. Walker and seated in courtroom 2?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Mr. Tucson, any priors?
14 total. Last arrest was 2020 simple battery family violence. That's open in state court. On probation, cruelty in the first. Possession of a firearm by convicted felon. Possession of a firearm during a commission. What else? Yeah.
That's good. Mr. Sorry, would that be Miss Dunlap's case?
No, this is my case, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Walker?
Yes, in this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 1079 Woodland Avenue, where they spoke to the victim, Miss Juanita Davis. She advised that her and her child's father were engaged in a verbal altercation. When he became physical, he did choke and punch her. The state is asking for a $3,000 surety bond, stay away from the incident location, and no further contact with the victim, and no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
Okay, what was the name of the victim, please?
Juanita Davis.
Juanita Davis. I was just want to make sure. Do I see her on the participant list? I don't think so. Okay, Miss Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. My client, Mr. Walker, is 29 years old, Your Honor. They lived together. This happened on March 3, 2022, almost a year and 9 months ago. So we would like to ask for a no further violent contact. They do have 2 children together. and he has total of 9 children. He's been working as a construction worker for last a few years as a temporary company for the temporary company, and he is qualified for public defender services because he has to pay for child support for 9 children, Your Honor. His
All right.
indigency is very serious, so we would like to request for signature on bond through pretrial or maximum $1,000 good bond.
And Your Honor, if I may, I'm looking at his other open case. It looks like it's in bench warrant status. That's case number 20 CR 0054798. That's with the same victim, Juanita Davis. That's a simple battery and then battery against a female who is pregnant.
Understood. Thank you. Bond is set at 3,000, surety bond. No contact with Juanita Davis. To not return to the Woodland, I think it was Woodland Avenue location. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons. And his next court date is December 5th. And he's got just 1 second. He's got that open bench warrant case. If that case is still not been scheduled for trial, we're going to put both cases on the next SAP calendar for December 5th. All right. Thank you, Ms. Solly. Yes, Ms. Kim?
And you have a third-party transfer for children and also
denied.
Enforcement?
Denied. With the children he shares with Ms. Davis, he would need to go through a legitimation process and get a court order to establish visitation and custody. All right, courtroom 2, please unmute. Did you have a question about the children contact, sir?
Excuse me, Your Honor, I just had my children when I just got locked up at the hotel, and me and my baby mama, we's working on co-parenting. And at the simple fact of the day, whatever they saying right now is not true, Your Honor.
If Miss Davis has a different view, she can contact victim advocate, and we can nope, that's not your job. That's her job. All right.
Okay.
And also on top of everything else, if you are co-parenting with the children you share with Miss Juanita Davis, then it's just a simple question of legitimating them through Superior Court and establishing your visitation and custody. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
And next is position number 11.
All right. And in addition to the case that we're going into a breakout, Mr. Walker, you said we had an add-on too?
Yes, I emailed everybody the add-on calendar. I think
There are 2 additional positions. I'm sorry.
Yes, there are 2. I think one is waived, his presence, and the person who needs to be brought is Rontrell Melicon.
Melicon?
Yes.
All right. I'll come back from the breakout and do the 2 cases, one with the waiver of appearance, and hopefully Mr. or Miss Malcon is available, or we
Can
may
we
have
ask the jail to go retrieve that person, please?
I'm not sure if I can continue with that. Mr. Walker, will it be Riverside tomorrow?
Yes.
All right. And with Malcon, are you recommending a surety bond or a
No,
signature bond?
I was recommending a signature bond, but it's actually a bind over case, but they didn't have a bond.
Okay. And who is representing Malcon?
We can represent, Your Honor. However, we didn't have a chance to interview him at all. But I just checked that there will be no conflict.
All right. Let me go into the breakout, and whoever is representing Malcon, you'll decide how you want to address bond. Yes, Mr. Neese?
She just wants to be included in the breakout, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
So who needs to go in the breakout, Judge?
It will be Mr. Neese, Ms. Kim, Ms. Dunlap, Mr. Walker, and me.
And I'll stay here and see if he comes on and interview him.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, with the add-on, what was that name again for the add-on?
I'll get it for you 1 second.
And I'm also showing position number 5, Charm Carter.
Yeah,
That's ACDC.
she I think might be a medical reset. She was a medical reset from yesterday. I spoke with ACDC. I told Derek Howard to maybe go see her. She refused to come to court.
Okay.
All right, the add-on calendar. Okay. Courtroom 2, it's Malicon. Do you need the booking number? What would be the easiest way?
Malachi Scott?
No. Ron Trell is the first name. Last name is Melancon.
Oh, he wasn't on our pull sheet.
Yeah, I know. So I need to interview him too whenever, if you can bring him down.
Booking number?
Booking number is 231-9261.
231-9261.
Yep. And then the other add-on is Beavers, and we've already waived his appearance, so he does not need to be brought.
Give us 1 second.
All right, Deputy, who do we have in the seat, please?
We have position number 11, Mr. Gray.
All right, Mr. Gregg, your bonds have been set and it's going to be a $2,500 surety bond and your next court date is going to be December 5th. Thank you.
And Your Honor, I do see the victim in, I think it's position 12, Jennifer R. That's probably Jennifer Rock, if we could just sound for her. So she's
Jennifer Rock, this is Judge Lal. If you want to have a say during the Zoom proceeding, the defendant in your case has received a $2,500 surety bond and to stay away from you and Ray's Pizza. All right, moving on to the case in which appearance has been waived.
She was trying to speak, Your Honor.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Jennifer
No, I'm
Rock.
sorry. I'm so sorry, Your Honor. Yeah,
All right.
so
If you raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
It is.
All right, and I apologize for the background noise.
No.
So I've already indicated to you the bond that I've already set, and the defendant has to stay 200 yards away from you, and he cannot return to the pizza location. His next court date will be December 5th at 11 a.m.
Okay, I also just wanted to state, Judge, that I know that he has mental issues. We don't know each other. This was like a random assault.
Yeah, I
And
think that was established during my
yes.
conference. So
Yes, and so I don't necessarily want him to be in jail or be back in the system, just to stay away from the tech campus altogether or that area.
I understand, but I have to go by the situation right now. I don't deem it in a situation until he's properly evaluated that I can release him on a signature bond. Okay.
Your Honor, do we need to modify to a no
Thank you,
contact for
Judge.
Georgia Tech? Are you a student?
No, staff.
So we might need to modify it to Georgia Tech to stay away, Your Honor.
Do you think he zeroed in on Miss Rock because she's a Georgia Tech staff member?
I don't think he's necessarily zeroed in, but I want her to be able to be at work and feel comfortable without seeing him.
I right now is what I've done is adequate. If I find anything over and above that, I'll definitely have him stay away from all Georgia Tech property. But right now, this is what we have. All right, Ms. Rock, if you do see him or he tries to communicate with you, please contact Victim Advocates Division at the Solicitor General's office.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome. You take care. All right, the case in which we waived appearance, Miss Holly, could you tell me?
Position number 2 on the add-on.
Okay.
Run,
I believe that's Miss Abden's case, and I believe she's interviewing somebody right now.
Oh,
I believe
okay.
too.
Are they both Miss Abden cases?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
While we're waiting for Miss Abden to appear, Miss Holly, would you be kind enough to go over the calendar to
Sure.
bond amounts?
Okay. Position number 1 is reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 2 is reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through pretrial. Position number 3 is reset further notice as the defendant has been released. 4 is reset further notice with a $2,500 SOB through pretrial. Position number 5 is being medically reset till tomorrow. Position number 6 is reset to the SAP calendar with a $5,000 total good bond. Position 7, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 8 is going to the SAP calendar with a $2,500 good bond. 9 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $3,000 good bond. 10 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,500 good bond. 11 also going to the SAP calendar with a $2,500 good bond. Position number 12 is going to the competency calendar on December the 5th at 11 o'clock with a $2,500 good bond. 13, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 14 is being reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 15 and 16 is the same defendant, each going to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond each. Position 17 is being reset further notice as the defendant has been released. 18 is going to the SAP calendar with a $3,000 good bond. And 19 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $2,000 good bond. And now we're just waiting on the add-on calendar.
All right. And is Miss Abden addressing the case in which appearance has been waived?
I think she got both cases.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we'll just hold, Miss Kim, can you please let Miss Abden know we're ready to address both the cases, or somebody can send her a chat, please?
Yes, I'll do that.
Ms. Bridgewater,
Yes.
Ms. Strong said what? now?
The case that's reset to the competency calendar,
Yes.
that's the 7th. They do competency on Thursdays.
Okay, Your Honor. Well, that's okay. I'll mark it accordingly.
Yes,
Thank
that's
you.
all. We was wanting to make sure you have it.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so sorry. I thought it was a Thursday, but yeah, it will be then reset to December 7th at 11 o'clock.
Yes,
Miss
ma'am.
Abden.
Got it.
All right, Miss Abden, let's address the case in which you waived appearance.
All right.
What's the, what's that case number and name, please? Miss Holly?
Okay, I'm sorry. That position is position number 2 on the add-on Rontrell Melicon, case
Oh,
number.
Miss Holly, I'm sorry. That's the one I spoke with. The first one is the
Okay, so
waiver.
Beavers is the waiver. Okay, that would be Merrill Leon Beavers, case number 23 CR 007236Y, charged with criminal trespass.
Right. And Mr. Howard, what's his priors, please?
38 total. He got a probation violation from this year. Open terrorist threats.
In
Dissemination.
Fulton County? Is
Yes.
the terroristic threats in Fulton County?
Yes.
Okay, anything else?
It's terrorist threats and dissemination of information relating to terrorist threats via computer. Got a
Okay.
16 stalking conviction, 2018 terrorist threats, 2022 probation, and
Another probation
lawful
violation.
entry out of DC. That's the same probation. I'm sorry. No, it is another probation. You're right.
All right, that's good. Thank you very much. Ms. Dunlap?
Your Honor, this incident happened yesterday at 74 West Paces Road Northwest. That's a Whole Foods. The defendant was asked by the store manager to leave multiple times. He refused to do so. He became angry, started yelling and threatening customers. Officers ended up detaining him outside near the Whole Foods. The state is looking for a signature bond through the jail and stay away from the Whole Foods located at 74 West Paces Road. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond.
All right. Ms. Abden, any objection?
Your Honor, I have no objection, but if Your Honor is not inclined to grant the signature bond through the jail, then I will proceed with the bond argument.
It's a $3,000 signature bond through the jail. He needs to make sure his address is updated with the court, and he cannot return to none Whole Food grocery stores in Atlanta. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, and Malicon, I don't think is that the gentleman in courtroom 2? All right, sir, my name is Judge Lal. I'd like to remind you that you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say about the facts of your case in open court, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford one, Ms. Rachel Abden will be representing you. Ms. Holly, what are the accusation number and the charges?
Okay, case number 23 CR 007239A, charged with loitering or prowling.
And Mr.
Hey.
Howard, did you have his priors?
No.
Okay. Mr. Walker, if you have his priors, that would be helpful.
He looks like he has an open shoplifting out of Fairburn. Everything else was not relevant. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 7810 Sonora Road, which is a Chick-fil-A. The defendant was asked to leave that location earlier because he was walking up to the counter taking to-go orders for other customers eating food. Later on in the day, he did come back and try to attempt to do the same thing. Law enforcement was contacted, and he was eventually detained. The state is asking for a signature bond through the jail. Stay away from that Chick-fil-A, well, really all Chick-fil-A's in Fulton County. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
All right. Ms. Abden, I'm inclined to follow the state's recommendation as long as he understands he cannot return to any Chick-fil-A restaurant in Fulton County.
No objection, Your Honor. We've already discussed that and he's agreed to that.
All right. Bond is set at $1,500. It's a signature bond through the jail. A next court date will be sent to his current address, so he needs to make sure that we have a good mailing address on him. No further dining at any Chick-fil-A restaurant in Fulton County, Georgia. And if he gets arrested again, this signature bond will be revoked and converted to a cash bond or a surety bond. Thank you.
I think that completes everything. Your Honor, are you going to be in a stable location for the next 15 minutes?
Yes, I'm available for the next hour and a half to
good.
sign the bond orders and send them to you.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay. All right, everyone. If I don't see you until they summon me back on another emergency coverage issue, happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
You all have
Yes.
a wonderful time. Take
Happy
care.
holidays to each of you.
All right.
And Miss Holly?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm so sorry. I just wanted to make sure that you got the bond order for Morrow. That's the defendant's name, not the judge.
Oh,
For
all right.
Pad.
Who is Deshaun Blue? Deshaun Blue.
I don't know.
All right. If you want to unmute and start your video.
I was a
I can't see you. I can't see you. All right. And who are you, please?
I was a victim in a case that never got brought up.
What's the defendant's name?
China Waits.
All right.
That case, hold on, I want to tell you what happened. She was released, so that's why we didn't hear it. She paid the bond.
She made bond.
She made bond. Okay. So you'll be notified when to come back to court.
Okay.
If you have any questions, you can reach out to the Victim Advocate Division of the Solicitor General's office.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. I think I addressed all the questions then. All right, everyone,
Yes.
take care.
And one last thing, Ms. Afton, I did receive that, so I will forward it to the judge.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.